Welcome, football fans, to Tim Reynolds Show's NFL Week 8 review. Make sure you hit that like button as I'm reviewing all the games from this past Sunday in the 2024 NFL season. And hey, it was also National Tight End Day, so we'll be sure to shout out all the tight end performances from each of the games that we review right here on Tim Reynolds Show. And guys, we're starting off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons, and this would be for the NFC South division lead, as we see both of these offenses come out scoring a lot of points, but the Atlanta Falcons would come out on top 31-26 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after the Buccaneers had 4 costly turnovers in this game, including 2 interceptions from quarterback Baker Mayfield after he threw 3 touchdowns in the air for 330 yards. That would not be enough, including an awesome performance from tight end Cade Otton, who was the leading receiver here for the Bucs with 9 catches for 81 yards and 2 TDs in this one. It would not be enough with all the turnovers, including a fake punt that didn't work and a fumble on the first possession. All too costly for the Buccaneers, as the Falcons now improved to 3-0 in the division and 5-3 on the season after Kirk Cousins throws 4 touchdown passes, including 2 of those to tight end Kyle Pitts, who had 4 catches for 91 yards to lead the team, and this is his first career NFL game with 2 touchdown receptions in the same game. Congratulations to the Falcons and Kyle Pitts as they get the victory here in Week 8. Then guys, moving on to our next game on the Sunday slate, we see the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Miami Dolphins, and we see a good back and forth in this one, coming down to the very end when the Arizona Cardinals were able to walk it off with a game-winning field goal to get the victory 28-27 over the Miami Dolphins, who's seen the return of starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who did pretty good in this game, going for 234 yards passing and a touchdown in this one. But that would not be enough, as we see Kyler Murray throw for 307 yards and 2 touchdowns in this one to lead his team to victory, and now they improved to 4-4 on the season, as the Cardinals now lead their division in the NFC West. And guys, going into our next game here on Sunday is the Green Bay Packers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we would see the Green Bay Packers get a 30-27 victory over the Jaguars after Brandon McManus, the former Jaguar, gets a game-winning field goal now in back-to-back weeks to help the Green Bay Packers improve to 6-2 on the season. But the bad news here for the Packers is starting quarterback Jordan Love suffered a groin injury in this game and was not able to return, but luckily backup quarterback Malik Willis was able to help them get the victory, especially from a strong performance from running back Josh Jacobs, who had 127 yards and 2 touchdowns in this one, as Green Bay now is going to prepare to take on the Detroit Lions next week, and hopefully quarterback Jordan Love will be healed up enough to play. And now the Jacksonville Jaguars unfortunately suffered the loss in this one. Not much to say about their performance, even though Trevor Lawrence had a pretty decent day with 308 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. They now go to 2-6 on the season. Next up, we see the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, and we see the Eagles romp the Cincinnati Bengals after scoring 14 points in the third quarter and 13 points in the fourth quarter to put away the Bengals 37-17, as now the Cincinnati Bengals go to 3-5, including 0-4 at home, and the Eagles improved to 5-2 after a great performance from running back Saquon Barkley, who gets 108 yards, another 100-yard rushing day for Barkley as the Eagles get the victory. Then guys, next we see our first big upset of the weekend, as the Baltimore Ravens were taking on the Cleveland Browns, but we would see new starting quarterback for the Browns, Jameis Winston, really pulled off some heroics with a touchdown pass late in the game to propel the Browns to victory in this one, 29-24, as they get the upset over this the Baltimore Ravens, who really looked shocked. And we also see Lamar Jackson very upset and frustrated throughout the end of this game, even though they had a pretty decent day from Flowers, who had 115 yards. It would not be enough, as Jameis Winston leads the Browns to victory with 334 yards passing and 3 touchdowns through the air. A magical performance from him, as the Browns now get the victory to move to 2-6 on the season. The Ravens fall to 5-3. Next up, we see a domination of sorts, guys, as we see the Tennessee Titans traveling to take on the Detroit Lions, and the Lions would get 52 points in this game through 3 quarters. That's right, folks. They did not score a single point in the fourth quarter, but were still able to score 52 points as they romp and destroy the Tennessee Titans 52-14, as the Lions improved to 6-1 on the season after Jahmyr Gibbs, the running back, did an awesome performance with 127 yards rushing, including a big touchdown on the ground, as now the Detroit Lions look like one of the best teams in the NFL, dominating the Tennessee Titans here in Week 8. Next, we see our next big upset as the New England Patriots were able to get a huge victory in the division over the New York Jets, 25-22, after running back Ramondre Stevenson was able to get their touchdown with only a few seconds left to go in the game, and the Jets couldn't get anything on their last possession. Even though Aaron Rodgers throws for 233 yards and 2 touchdowns, it would not be enough as the Jets fall and lose their 5th straight. And now we see our next game here on Sunday is the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. And we had a little bit of drama in this one, but this was a close game throughout as we see the Texans were able to pull out a 3-point victory as they win 23-20 over the Indianapolis Colts. But the drama we got from here is quarterback Anthony Richardson apparently tapped his helmet and needed to go out for a break because he was too tired after one of the plays there in the second half. A not so good look for the second-year quarterback, as we've never seen that before from a quarterback in the NFL. And hey, a good performance from running back Josh Taylor there for the Indianapolis Colts, 105 yards on the ground and the touchdown. But CJ Stroud does his thing, throwing for 285 yards and a touchdown and leading his team to victory. A really good bounce back performance for the Houston Texans after CJ Stroud struggled against Green Bay last week. Then next up, guys, we see the New Orleans Saints traveling to take on the Los Angeles Chargers, and we see the Chargers get the good victory here to improve to 4-3 on the year as they win 26-8 over the Saints, who weren't able to get anything going at all on offense, not scoring a single point in the fourth quarter and not even getting a touchdown from their offense. Kamara was the only bright spot with 67 yards on the ground, but it would be Herbert with 279 yards and 2 touchdowns, throwing to his rookie receiver McContney, who had 111 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game as the Chargers get the victory. Moving up next to our next one, which is the Buffalo Bills traveling to take on the Seattle Seahawks, and man, we've seen the Buffalo Bills really dominate in this one, getting a 31-10 victory over the Seattle Seahawks as Josh Allen gets 283 yards and 2 touchdown passes, and Cook does his thing on the ground with 111 yards and 2 TDs of his own as this Buffalo team just dominated a Seattle Seahawks team who was coming off of a good win over the Atlanta Falcons last week, but now they lose this one as they go down to 2-3 at home, suffering this loss here in week 8. Then next, we see the Carolina Panthers taking on the Denver Broncos, and we see the Broncos get the victory in this one, 28-14. Not much surprise, but we see 21 points scored from this Broncos offense in the second quarter as quarterback Bo Nix is starting to get into his groove as he had 284 yards passing and 3 touchdowns through the air in this one to help lead his team to victory as they improved to 5-3 on the season. Then next, we got the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders on the road, but man, after a close game, once again, the Kansas City Chiefs were able to pull out the victory to improve to 7-0 on the year as they win 27-20 over the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Raiders had their chances at the end of this game to hopefully take the lead, but they weren't able to do anything with it as turnovers proved very costly for them throughout this game. But the Chiefs, man, what can you say about them other than Patrick Mahomes having one of his best games of the year, 262 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air, and Travis Kelce, the tight end, finally gets his first touchdown of the year. Shout out to Travis Kelce on National Tight End Day as he had 10 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown in this one. An awesome performance there from Travis Kelce. And then next, guys, we see the Chicago Bears taking on the Washington Commanders in this one. And man, what a crazy ending that we see to this one, guys, including a big Hail Mary pass from Jalen Daniels after the Chicago Bears were able to march down the field to take the lead in the fourth quarter. With just a few seconds left, we see Daniels deliver a Hail Mary pass as the Washington Commanders get the victory, 18-15 over the Chicago Bears, as Jalen Daniels throws for 326 yards and a touchdown. And hey, shout out to tight end Zach Ertz, who had 7 catches for 77 yards in this matchup. But man, it was the McLaurin show with 5 catches for 125 yards. But they get the victory here, the Washington Commanders, after we see Caleb Williams struggled with only 131 yards passing in this game. Even though Swift had a great performance with 129 yards rushing, it would not be enough for the Chicago Bears, who weren't able to get anything going to get the victory. Here, it's the Commanders getting the victory instead in that matchup versus number 1 overall pick and number 2 overall picks. And then, guys, we see the Sunday night matchup where we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And shout out to George Kittle on National Tight End Day as he balls out in this this one with 6 catches for 128 yards and a touchdown, as we see the 49ers get the 30-24 victory on Sunday Night Football over the Dallas Cowboys. And man, the Cowboys are reeling, as they were previously undefeated on the road and now go to 3-1 on the road, but 3-4 overall. Not doing very, very well this year, as they struggled not only to stop Brock Purdy and George Kittle, but they also gave up 6.2 yards per carry on the ground and 223 yards total rushing in this day. And Brock Purdy himself had 8 carries for 56 yards, which was the same amount of rushing yards that the Dallas Cowboys offense had, as Dak Prescott struggled, throwing 2 interceptions again in this game that proved to be very, very costly. And man, tough day though. But hey, shout out to Jake Ferguson on National Tight End Day, who had 6 catches for 23 yards in this one as well. And that would be the end of your Week 8 NFL review, guys. And happy National Tight End Day in the NFL to all the tight ends who really balled out in this one. And we got to go over a couple other guys too to highlight. How about Sam Laporta for the Detroit Lions? 6 catches for 48 yards and a touchdown in his performance there, as the Detroit Lions get a big blowout victory in that one. Looking over here, trying to see what other big performances from tight ends that we've seen in this week's performance. You know, guys, it's been a really, really awesome time to see these tight ends get over 177 total receptions in this particular past Sunday, which is an NFL record. So, wow, just an amazing performance there. How about Hunter Henry? 5 catches for 45 yards for the New England Patriots, as he did a pretty dang good job himself on National Tight End Day. Dalton Schultz had himself a pretty decent day too, with 4 catches, 452 yards in the Houston Texans victory there on that one. And we also see here for the Buffalo Bills, tight end Dawson Knox had 2 catches for 50 yards. Not bad. Dawson Kincaid had himself a touchdown as well on 4 catches for 31 yards for the Buffalo Bills there in their matchup. And hey, the tight ends were balling on this past Sunday, right, guys? So this has been your NFL Week 8 review right here on Tim Reynolds Show. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for checking out. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you. I appreciate every single person who's on my channel, especially the ones that watch it all the way through. You guys rock. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and check out more on this sports entertainment channel, Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy NFL Week 9 coming up, as we're about halfway through the 2024 NFL season, and enjoy more NFL reviews weekly. Also, NFL live streams for every single Tampa Bay Buccaneers game throughout the 2024 season. And make sure you also check out Tim Reynolds Show for more college football news, NFL news, NASCAR race reviews, and WWE show reviews. Thank you guys so much. Peace out, everybody.